Hey everyone, it's Sam here, and this is the NuPhy Air75 V2. It starts from $120 and it's now available in 3 colors. Not only that, the keyboard is finally QMK VIA compatible. There's also more things that have been upgraded in the V2, but before I cover those changes, here's what's included in the box with the keyboard. So there's some stickers included, a Q&A booklet to answer all of your questions, a quick start guide in 3 languages that doubles as a poster, a pretty nice 2-in-1 switch and keycap puller, a braided Type A to Type C charging cable, a few extra keycaps in different colors and for the Windows layout, 4 extra switches and the 2.4 GHz wireless USB dongle with a storage attachment. The keyboard also comes with a hard plastic cover to keep the dust out, and I have the new Basalt black color variant here, which looks very sleek in my opinion. The keyboard now weighs just under 600 grams or 1.3 pounds, which is in fact slightly heavier than the V1. This is mostly due to the larger battery inside, which is now 4000 mAh. So the keyboard still has the same sleek design and layout as before, but now it has a few nice upgrades. One change that I really like is the new keycaps included. The keycaps are now double shot PBT and they have updated the designs on them, which are now much cleaner than before. The legends are now sharper and clearer than the previous die-sub keycaps, and I think they do look good here. This is also same for the color. I think the double shot PBT looks more vibrant when you compare it to the die-sub process last time. Moving on to the switches, you can still get it with the low profile Gateron switches, but you can now choose from 4 more newer and better switches by NuPhy and Gateron. There's the Aloe and Cowberry switches, which are linear, and the Wisteria and Moss switches, which are tactile, so you can choose in between these 4 switches. Here I have the NuPhy Daisy switch, which is available separately. It's a linear switch with an operating force of 48 grams and bottoms out at 55 grams. Inside there's a 16.5mm spring, and this switch also comes with factory loop, so it's smooth out of the box. The PCB is still hot swap with a north facing layout, so you can change the switches easily, and of course it still has the per key RGB. The stabilizers here seem to be the same. They are still plate mounted and come with a generous amount of loop, as you can see. There is also a silicone dampener now added to the spacebar, which makes it sound fuller. Comparing the bottom case, the older one is much more opaque and darker, while the newer one is more see-through and lighter, as you can see the components inside. You still get the mirror piece here in the middle and the 4 rubber feet on the corners, but they are now height adjustable. You can increase it to be slightly higher or go even higher if you want to. It all just depends on the typing angle you prefer. I think this is a much needed change, especially when comparing it to the older magnetic feet, which drops off easily and doesn't really store properly when you want to bring it around. The keyboard now supports QMK VIA, so you can finally configure all of the keys and layers easily. Besides that, you can also add macros if you want to and adjust the lighting of the keyboard all in the VIA software here. Okay, those were the major changes that everyone is talking about. Here are some smaller changes I noticed by using it daily. First is the toggles on the back of the keyboard. They are now slightly bigger and poke out more if you compare to the older ones, and this makes it easier to feel and use. I don't have to use my nails to turn it on and off anymore. Second, I really appreciate the addition of a bump at the arrow key, so I know when my fingers are there without looking at the keyboard. Third is the new look of the 2.4 GHz dongle. Personally, I think it looks way better, and I can now easily differentiate it from other dongles I have laying around. Plus, it can now be stored and clipped onto the charging cable, so it's easier to bring around and I don't lose it easily. Oh, and it's also now 1000 Hz, so it's better for gaming. The fourth thing I noticed is that the new plaque at the bottom is now slightly larger than before, and that's just it. Inside the keyboard, they have also updated some of the sound dampening materials. So now there's a PET insulation film, a piece of IXPE PCB pad for the switches, a piece of Poron plate foam, and the silicone pieces at the spacebar that I previously shown. Now here is the typing sound test so you can hear how the keyboard sounds. Alright, here are my final thoughts. After using the keyboard, I really like what NuPhy has done here. The keyboard is now updated and much more future-proof, and it's also much more customizable to fit your needs. Overall, for the price, I think it's worth it, but it can get slightly expensive after you get all of the add-ons. With all of that said, if you're interested in getting the NuPhy Air75 V2, it will be linked in the description below for you. And that does it for this video. Thanks to NuPhy for sending out the keyboard, and thank you for watching. Leave a like if you liked it, dislike it if you didn't, and remember to subscribe if you haven't. See you in the next one.